with you, boy. You won't get too much chances. I don't care if I am fancy brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Chances I don't care if I am fancy brighter. Yeah, yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you goodbye, I'm telling you goodbye. Duck, duck, goose found a pussy in a dollar bin. Guess you forgot your galana bin. You can't get loose, get your guts, got your tongue again. Rope burn on your hand, are you numb yet? I can go, but you can't medication. Murder man, I can deal with the cooking. Every night, I can make it echo. And give it go. That's what you do. Stood by your side through all of the lies, watching you cry for me. Get on your knees, apologize please. No, why don't you die for me? Call me the king, ruler of things. Give me that diamond ring. Get on your knees, apologize please. No, why don't you die for me? I can go, but you can't medication. Murder man, I can deal with everything. Every night, I can make it echo. And give it go. That's what you do.
Tags, he is the hero. Yevney, oh dear, showing the back to Ambition. Oh no, he received a shot, now he's a one shot. Oh dear, Yevney, can he survive? It's the $1 million question now, can he survive? He race. Oh my god, oh no, he found a whoopsie, he found a, oh no.
Good evening everyone, we are back and we will begin with Cats versus ECG in the 5th Proof of Skill tournament on the Asia server. That being said though, I'm aware that my software is saying that I'm having a lot of issues concerning with skipped frames. Hopefully that will resolve for the rest of the stream. That being said though, if you're new to the stream, we're going to tell you what Previous Skill Tournament is all about. Basically, Wargaming has kindly offered around $6,700 as a prize pool for the top 8 teams this season. Previous Skill Tournament is the first stage out of the 2, and it will and Previous Skill Tournaments. We have all games played in the best of 3 series, that is whichever team wins the first 2 matches will win the fixture. The format is a single elimination knockout stage with a match for the 3rd place, and the tournament is seeded by the average of the win rate of the 7 best players in the team. A team earns a number of cups depending on where they finish, and the leaderboard ranks the teams in a descending order of cups. The top 8 would advance to the Professionals Tournament, and the 9th to the 16th place would advance to the Challengers Tournament. One Previous Skill tournament is spread out across 2 consecutive days, with the first day having as many as 16 teams with one group, and the top 4 of each group would advance to the games held on the second day, and we are currently on the second day with at most 32 teams in one group, and tonight we only have 8 groups because only 24 teams registered on the Asia server, if I remember correctly. That is not good. I really wish Wargaming is going to do something, and hopefully it will mean that we will be able to have some amazing have more competition on the Asia server. But basically it's not the competitive side which is suffering in terms of the number of competitive teams, more like the number of teams the number of non-competitive teams, which is really low. And we also have more than 50% of the competitive teams in this in the list of participating teams, so it's something that it's quite concerning. But good thing about that is that the seeding is not going to have that much of an impact compared to like EU and the NA server, whereby the seeding plays a huge role in determining the top 8 teams, especially the EE server, where it's kind of commonplace to see top 8 teams playing for the second playing in the group stage quarterfinals head to head to secure a spot in the second day. That is something that Wargaming needs to work on. And then we have the number of cups being as follows. All the teams have earned at least 677 cups, and they can earn as many as 2011 cups. This is the timeline. We will have the previous Q tournaments held from 26th of April to the 14th of May, and the Professionals and Challengers tournament will be held from 19th of May to the 23rd of May. The games will start in around 11 minutes, and there are only 3 games tonight, so it's not going to be a long stream, but it will be packed with a lot of excitement, and you will be enjoying all these games, I can assure that. This is Cat's lineup. We have iLion, captain of the team, Ayumu in also part of the team, Axiomatic, Mentalian, Mummy Milkers, Hermes, Temptation, Jericho, War, and Cost Effective. And this is ECG's team. We have my Ayanami-chan, Fury, Norman, JDFK, Zhang Peng, I think it's Canbio. I'm not sure if that 4 is an H or an A. I'm not sure about that. We also have KJDL, Bunado, Cook Bottle, and Chen JGF. And I'll be covering Cat versus ECG's bracket all the way to the finals, and we also have Fujit Blitz covering GV versus E7 all the way to the brackets, to the finals. And before I continue, just wait for me for a moment, and we will actually talk about both these teams. Now we'll bring to you the information you need. Okay, on the other hand, we just have to check a little bit about my live streaming status. I think it's playing fine at the moment. I'm not receiving any notifications that I'm receiving some skipped frames. It happened in the first few minutes, but that should be fine. Okay, so let's talk about ECG. So ECG is a multilingual clan that is focused on competitive gaming. They have people from people speaking English, Chinese, and Korean. And this team was founded back in 2020, and you will see some familiar faces in this team, such as Bunado and JTFK. Obviously, JTFK from Low, Bunado from Boon. Besides that, the team also consists of players from Low, 101 AD, and NCR. They have done a few training sessions with different teams on the Asia server, and hopefully in 2021 they are expecting to finish in the top 8. And with the onset of the spring season, they have formed some relationship. They have formed an alliance with quite a lot of clans, and they normally do training sessions twice a week, and whereas they only do one during the spring season because of the scheduling of the spring season. As for cats, let's find out. They once again they come from a lot of countries. They have people from Australia, Singapore, Korea, South Korea. I mean, Czech Republic, which I think is Mentalium, which is also in Vale, if I remember correctly. We also have people from Pakistan and Vietnam. They have been. They were once not playing really competitively, but pretty much things changed in the last few seasons, and they were placed 4th in the winter season. Most of them were just too busy back then when they were just not playing. They were playing non-competitively. This team has people from. I mean, this team. The age of this team is around 17 to 20 years old, and the youngest guy is pretty young. And most of them are students, and a couple of them work as well. In terms of expectations, they will love to break into top 4 once again, but then this is not their expectation. Probably will be top 8, and they just get in here to play and do as good as possible. And as for training, they have ramped up the ramped up the training. They have upped their game, obviously, and because they were because the spring season was notified a couple of weeks earlier, they have more time to do training and so on. And usually they use the training as strats, as testing strats. So if you meet them in training, if you see them doing very weird stuff, that is just because great, at least the stream is going fine. That is just because they are trying new stuff out in the training. Hopefully you get to know more about these clans, and let's get into the room. Currently, both Cats and ECG are in the top 8, so but they are in the at the edges of the top 8. So it's going to be important for both these teams to get the cops to secure their position in the top 8. Particularly for ECG though, because they just overtook ID yesterday after a strong showing. I think they won against RN. Just lost to Feast 0-2 in the final. So ECG is a very strong team, and they really want to make use of that to further the position in the top 8. Meanwhile, Cats, they already have 2 non-qualifications. I believe, is it, or is it not? Only 1 non-qualification, and the 6th previous skill tournament, we don't know what the seeding is going to be, but rest assured, they don't want to lose. They don't want to miss this opportunity to go further up the table and to pull a bigger distance away from the 9th position. Okay, so here we are. We have the teams ready with Cats, now with Eyelion, Ayumu, Cost-Effective Hermes, Mummy Milkers, Temptation, and Mentalium. On the other side, ECG, they have My Iron Army, Bunado, Furry Norman, Zhang Pen, Coke Bottle, Chen, JJF, and JTFK. Looking at this, we are on Hellas. Hellas, although it's quite an exposed map, I don't know why perceptionally it feels a bit small. Probably because of the corners in the northwestern and the southeastern side, where it kind of occupies a significant portion of the map. So that is why it feels a bit perceptionally small. On the other hand, I don't know why teams really love heavies on Hellas, despite being very open map. You will be expecting quite a lot of mediums actually, but that doesn't seem to be the case. When we see teams play out on Hellas, that can be attributed to both A and B caps being very close to one another, and there is some terrain there to hold down and so on, and there we are seeing quite a lot of hold down heavies positioning there to defend both A and B. And usually if they want to defend both A and B, they don't want to go between A and B to defend. They will have some tanks near their spawn to split up the rotation actually, and that usually will help the team defending both A and B to get information and also not to get cornered easily. We saw particularly for GB, when teams defend between A and B, the other team can basically corner them, surround them, and they are in horrible crossfire. They are in horrible crossfire. So you don't want to be in horrible crossfire, and that's why you branch out to put some tanks to defend your spawn. You don't want to defend both spawns, so that will spread out your team way too thin. So you only want to get one spawn to defend instead. So this is what we will be expecting for a defending team, but equally teams can all go to C as well, with some tanks near B and A always to do resets and capture moves. Because A is quite open, and that C is quite open, that southeastern corner. You want to get some map control over there, that's why people send tanks there. Alright, so here we go. Cats are ready in Eyelion, in the eyes alongside Mentalium. And we will announce rest of the lineup very soon. We also have double crown bargains by Ayumu and Mummy Milkers, double T125 by Cost Effective and Temptation with Hermes, and the Vegas Light. ECG is going with double IS4 by Zhang Peng and Coke Bottle. We also have Furry Norman in Crown Bargain, T22 by My Iron Army Chen, and we have double T125 by Chen and also JTFK with Bunado and Vegas Light. Lion said no to Vindicator once again. You cannot take the Vindicator, otherwise you will hand the other team a technical victory, so you don't want to do that. That's why it's been shut down, but let's follow Hermes for a moment. He is in the biggest light. He will spot up Bunado and gets himself sports a good shell into Bunado and spot up both Chen and JTFK as well, but he will not be able to spot up tanks going into C from BCG. And ECG is committing tanks over to C, but it's going to be Cats with the Cat lead as they obtained A first. Oh, but Cats is getting quite ambitious in trying to shut down B. My Iron Army Chan is not in a good position to reset B. That allowed Cats to get B. So well done to Cats. They got both caps already, so that will put a tremendous pressure onto ECG. Basically, they will only be able to secure 1 cap instead of 2 for ECG, and they need to make a move as soon as possible because the cap points will increase very, very quickly for Cats, and ECG are left with little time to shut down Cats' team. And Cats, I think at this moment they just want to defend nicely, but they will also not want to make the mistake of defending between A and B. So they want to have tanks over to their spot. And that is why they have tanks near their spot. They have the IS-4 and Vickers like defending. They're looking at ECG. ECG trying to make a push onto the enemy spawn, and Chan is trying to get some spots over the middle, but he took some shots as well. ECG is not starting well. Temptation is reporting his teammates for swearing, and I believe this is a punishable offense, provocative communication, so prepare to get chat banned, I would say. But Kogboto in the IS-4, will he be able to get some shots in? But he's approaching this precariously though, because Cats, you have the double crab wagons lining up themselves nicely. If ECG decides to push onto Cat's spawn, it won't do them any favor. And ECG is down by more than 1,000 hit points of disadvantage, and this is looking slimmer and slimmer as time goes on. And already Cats with 800 cap points. ECG, they cannot win with just kills. They need to get bases as well. And Zhang Pan has put himself into play. He needs support, obviously. Very Norman is also really down. But look at that, Zhang Pan is in loads of trouble with Cats. The T125 dropping the reactive armor, I think it's going to do some work. Temptation being the focus as well, but the reactive armor is going to buy a lot of time for Cats. But with my and Naomi Chan now dead, Cats only need 10 more cap points and killing Fury Norman. Good job by both Hermes and Mentalium. That move secures the win for Cats. ECG, I think they didn't put themselves nicely in a position to reset B. I think they need to do more research on that. Probably they want to take a more aggressive position to reset B though. And look at that. We have Hermes doing more than 2k, but ECG, 5 of them did less than 1k, and I think they didn't have an idea on how to respond under the situation where they do not have when they are down by a lot of caps. I think that kind of put them into a sort of chaos, and that's not good. That's not good indeed, but that could change. ECG is a very competent team, and Cats are on the match form right now, and they really would like to secure their position tonight in the top 8, potentially. Here we go, we have ECG now going with double T22. That armor is going to scare Cats for a little bit, but equally Hermes in T22 as well. So other than that, we have double crab bargains by Fury Norman and Quick Portal, Zhang Pang in the IS-4, double T175 by JDFK and Chen. Cats is going with Eyeline in the IS-4, Ayubu and Mummy Milker's double crown bargain, triple T175s by cost effective Temptation Mentalium. At this time, Cats still taking a lot of holding out heavy, so I will be expecting them to once again go for a cap presses strategy on both A and B, hold down tanks. Equally, hold down tanks can work very well on the other side, but I think the lack of speed would not fare them well on getting cap control over C. But that could be different though. ECG, double T22 medium, this is the mobility advantage they will have, so I will once again expect them to go similarly to C. But they might want to put themselves in a better position to reset both A and B, but I don't think Cat is going for A and B. Not sure if that's the best idea, but you will never know. Strategies, that could also be part of the strategy. to kind of convince ECG that Cats is going to do the same thing. In fact, they are doing totally different things. But look at Bernardo. Split up a lot of tanks there, but this is going to be ECG with a cap on A. And Hermes getting B as well. No one's able to reset my Iron Army Chan, however, he's unspotted, and so is Hermes as well. Apologize if I got your pronouns wrong. That's not my intention. Just tell me in the chat or privately message me if I got your pronouns wrong. Sorry about that. But look at that. Cats is unable to get C. Cost effective taking some hits though, but I don't think Mentality and Temptation would want to push. However, JTF puts a good shell into Temptation. They want to hold back. It's 3 versus 3. They do not have a numerical advantage, but this time my Army Chan is getting quite aggressive. Cats this time is dropping hit points. And they are not training very well this time. ECG has the cap lead, so they just need to defend, and Cats will be the team that needs to do the rotation. ECG can try get B, but look at Cats. This is how they defend whoever is going for B. And I don't think ECG would want to do a cap, want to cap B as well. So Cats, they are in loads of trouble. Eyeline is taking some hits though, and this time it's going to be very, very close in hit points. ECG is pushing the lineup, but they are also very spread out. So Cats, they just want to find the tanks to isolate. And I believe the T-22, they can run quickly enough, but are they able to deal with double Crown Valor and so myself? I believe the double T-22 will be the tanks that I would like to rush in terms of Cat's side. But look at that. Very Norman is taking more hits. At ECG, they cannot lose unnecessary hit points. Cost effective is in a dire, dangerous position. I am not sure if he can hold there, but Zhang Peng, ECG cannot afford to lose more and more hit points. Mentality and Temptation trying their luck once again on the T-125s, but ECG simply, they have positions to defend. But they just need to make sure they don't drop unnecessary hit points. Fury Norman and Zhang Pan are the tanks that Cats are looking very closely on, and they are not. They're in a quite exposed position if they move slightly forward or backwards. So they have to be really, really careful. Cats once again with Cat Bleed. So this is going to be really tense indeed. Jumping, he does not want to go for C in this situation, but look at Cats. They have found Fury Norman isolated. They're trying to kill Fury Norman, but the T-22s and the Code Belter is there to shut down Mummy Milkers, and I think ECG might have a good idea here, but equally Cats is providing support. So this is very close call. Mummy Milkers is now down. Hermes is going to do 1v1 against Hermes. I think this is going to be really tanks. On the other hand, actions happening on C side with cost effective now down. This is still really close call, but Cats got C as well. So two caps compared to 1 for ECG. Cats needs the kills now. Zhang Pan is now dead. It's now 5 versus 5. ECG is still leading in terms of hit points, but in terms of caps, Cats will have the lead now, and this is going to be intense. My enemy Chan is now dead. It's a focus fire. Bernardo needs to kill off Eyelion, but 3 against 1. He cannot fluff his shell onto Eyelion, but he bounced that shell with Hermes also dead. It's now 4 versus 3. Bernardo is now very low. It's a one shot. He's dropping down, but Temptation is coming to kill off Bernardo. That is an important kill right there. And Cats almost, they're now 985, 990 cap points, and they got 1,000 cap points. They are through to the semi-finals for the first time, I think, at the previous skill tournaments in the spring season. That was a very, very tense match indeed. And I think ECG were punished with Zhang Pan and I think JTFK in a position that needs a bit of care to play a good position to get spots and information, but equally they are also very, very exposed as well if they move a little bit too far backwards or a bit too much forwards. But I think ECG almost got the idea here. I think just only maybe maybe not dropping too many hit points at the start, and also some better focus fire would have saved them from losing this one. And I think losing that C cap has proven to be important. And Bunado unable to finish off a one shot IS4 there. I think it's Alliance in it. That proves to be quite costly, however. Natalia wanted to, spoil the party. So here we go. Cats are through to the to the semi-finals, obviously, and let's see the results on of other quarterfinals bracket here. We will begin with HLV versus RN. Okay, so HLV versus RM. We have both of them still playing. On the other hand, GD versus E7. They lost to E7 0-2. Now that's not good for them. E7, that is an important result for them. They want to go further into the top 8 and secure a spot no later than tonight. And ENC versus Feast. We have ENT winning 2-0 against Feast, and well done to ENT here. And we are only left with HLV versus RN. The result we are still waiting. And while we wait, we will interview ECG very soon. And just double checking the results. They're still playing, so it's going to be into a tiebreaker. Okay. So, in terms of the table, the leaderboard table, ECG is definitely not safe. Okay, so we have more teams getting eliminated tonight. That leaves only Cats, ECG, ID, and still trying to secure their positions in the top 8. Will that be sealed by tonight, though? If Cats play really well tonight, that could further confirm their position in the top 8. But this is to assume that all top 8 teams are playing tonight. Are played in the previous skill tournaments in the 6th final previous skill tournament, though. So it's not 100% certain they're through, but if they at least register their team and play at least one match, they are through to the professionals tournament. So if we do not assume that, if we assume that some teams here do not register in the final through skill tournament, all of these teams are not through still. So they have to at least register the team. So make sure they register their team and play in the final through skill tournaments. That could change after all results have been announced. So here we go. Currently in the table, we have Feast first place with 31,082 cups, ENT 30,426 cups, RN 30,116 cups, HLV 30,038 cups, E7 28,210 cups, and GB 28,004 cups. Cats will have 25,262 cups, and ECG 24,294 cups. ID 22,903 cups, and 22,645 cups, and I think this is a very good top 8. I think all teams here, this is a very typical top 8 that you'll be expecting. I think every team here deserves to be in top 8 at the moment, so I think Asia server is pretty good. I really like this top 8 right here. Unless ID did really well in the final proof skill tournaments, but that could be at the expense of ECG, and ECG was performing pretty well in the last few proof skill tournaments. So I am looking forward to seeing them in the top 8. That will be the first time they will be in the top 8 actually in the professionals, and all our teams have been in the professionals tournament at least once. However, if GV handed a technical victory, though, that would mean their number of cups might be deducted. So they still have to register their team, though, and they still have to play. That is for sure. Hello, I'm just gonna say hello to everyone so far. We're still waiting for an answer from ECG. I think they're just picking up they're just debriefing, I believe. So hello to Johnston Wirchel, hello to Kane, hello to Mentalium, hello to the sexy person, hello to Halfmaster, and hello to Killshock, hello to Oops, and hello to Dadu Review. And if Mutsu is here, hello Mutsu. Okay, so do we have results for HLV versus RN? They are still playing, so it's going to be a very tense match indeed for them. So let's hope ECG is going to respawn sooner or later. Oh. Alright. Oh. I thought it was are you okay? I don't know what happened there. It's it's probably in cats, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, I believe it's in cats. So I thought it was someone from ECG. It's not the case, so don't worry. I didn't miss anything. Yeah, apparently he's still not ready yet. We'll still wait for a little longer. But while you wait, going to brief all of you what is happening tonight in Proof Skill tournaments. Is still HLV versus RN still playing. We still don't know the results at the moment. Okay, we know the results with HLV 2-1 against RN. And it will be HLV versus Cats next, so once again, very exciting matches ahead. And HLV will be very happy about that result. and that means ARWV will be rising to the 3rd place with 30,328 cups. No Yakuzas will interview, I don't know. Okay, so let me generate the bracket once again. Good. Just wait for me. Just wait for a moment. I'll be changing the graphics. Oof. Okay, well, I've changed my graphics, so while we still wait for ECG to show up sooner or later, once again, all games are played the best of 3 series in this previous skill tournament. This previous skill tournament, and format is a single elimination knockout stage for match for the 3rd place. The tournament is seeded by the average of the win rate of the 7 best players in the team, and that information can be found on the website and not in the game. A team earns the number of cups depending on where they finish, and the leaderboard ranks the teams in a descending order of cups. The top 8 will advance to the Professionals tournament, and the 9th to the 16th place will advance to the Challengers tournament. One previous skill tournament is spread out across 2 consecutive days, with the first day having at most 16 teams in one group, and the top 4 of each group will advance the games held on the second day. That is the semi-finalists of each group, and we are currently on the second day with at most 32 teams in one group, but we only have 8 teams, and currently we now have 4 teams. All games are played in a supremacy mode. So the teams still left standing will have earned at least 967 cups, bar any technical victories or defeats, obviously. And the previous skill tournament is going to draw into a close very soon. It will be held from the 26th of April to the 14th of March, and the first to 8th place will advance to the Professionals tournament, held from the 19th of May to the 23rd of May, which is the same as the Challengers tournament for the 9th to the 16th placing teams. The next match will start in around 7 minutes. So unfortunately, if ECG decides to show up in the next few minutes here, it will be a very brief interview. This is Cat's team with Eyeline as the captain of the team, Ayumu, Axiomatic Mentalium, Mummy Milkers, Hermes, Temptation, Jericho, War, which is a 100% win rate account there, and cost effective. So, Cat's clan, here we are. They are pretty diverse in terms of the nationalities. They have people from Australia, Singapore, South Korea, Czech Republic, Pakistan, and Vietnam. And the last 2 seasons, are probably probably the competitive history they have so far, and they were placed in 5th to 6th in the professionals tournament and 4th in the winters, 5th to 6th in the Blitz Cup preliminaries actually, and they had good success in all of the tournaments, but they were not the big tournaments though. So most of us back then were just a little bit too busy, and currently with the COVID restrictions and so on, they have more time to play more competitively. The team has the average age between 17 to 20 years old, and most of them are students, and a couple of them work as well. In terms of expectations, they want to do better than they were last time, and they were hoping at least to break into the top 4, but pretty much their expectations are not high. Just they weren't giving much thought, and they just get in here and play as good as they can. As for training, they have picked up a bit of pace this season because they know that spring season is going to be held a few weeks prior. So they've been training a lot more, and hopefully that will translate into better performance from them. And a win against ECG is really crucial. As for Killshot's question, does ID still have a chance though? I will say it's quite slim, but it's still possible. But they have to make sure they qualify into the final previous skill tournaments and do really well, while ECG would need to not qualify. If that's the case, then ID could overtake ECG, but other than that, if ECG qualifies to the final previous skill tournament, ID is practically doomed. Hello to Noob Master, and here we are on Yukon. This is a relatively heavy map because most of the actions are happening around the northeastern corner, where most of the bases are congregated. So Eyeline's taking a mouse right here, which is a typical call. And this map doesn't have a lot of terrain apart from the southwestern side, where not a lot of people go there actually. So Eyelion, so you'll be expecting quite a lot of ice falls. Crown Wagons are good as well, although it's not a lot of terrain. There is still some terrain, and there are slopes that you could work with to do some held down. So I won't be surprised if they take 2-1-10-5, but I think there will be a big focus in the heavily armored tanks. But mediums can be very good if you can flank them, but usually they don't take a lot of medium tanks. Usually only around 1 or 2. Usually around 1, or even I haven't seen anyone taking. I don't know. I couldn't recall, but taking 0 medium tanks is usually not the case for Yukon. So here we go. Eyelion in the mounts, double Crown Vargas by Ayumi and Mummy Milkers, double T22 by Cost Effective and Hermes, double IS4 by Temptation and Mentalium, with HLV double IS4 by Enjoy Soluki and Rush, double Crown Vargas by 7710 and From the Abyss, Koyu in the 2-1-10-5, and we also have Momosaku in the IS4 and Sarutsu in the T22. No, ECG is not it's not EC. I don't think they're the same team. They have different logos as well. So I don't think they're the same team. I'm not sure about Arctoon. The name is quite unique. That I think they are the same team on both EU and Asia Circle. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I don't think they're I think they're the same team. So there are some changes here. HLV now going with triple Crown Bargains by 7-4 from Abyss and Koyu. And as you can see, there is quite a lot of emphasis on heavily armored tanks for both teams. Cat's taking double T22. I like teams taking double mediums, you can work together really well to unleash the DPM potential. And double T20s, they have good armor as well, although not as good as some of the heavies. Most of the heavies actually, but mobility wise they can really wiggle their tank and bounce quite a few shells, and their spaced armor is going to give them a lot of advantage in terms of bouncing shells and angling as well. So I can't wait to see how both teams are going to approach this, but I assume most of the actions will be around the northeastern corner. Hello Sonda, how are you doing? So Cats will be on the red team, and HLV will be the blue team here. And we will find out whether Cats will be on the north side or the south spawn, and HLV equally as well. But using some really nice view here on Unicorn, I think it's pretty idyllic place to travel to. But we also have Cats, red team, north spawn, blue team, HLV south spawn with a little bit of a hit point pool lead, but that's negligible because it's just around 200 hit point advantage. One shot will change, actually, will change the advantage, so we'll flip the advantage to the other. So it's going to be very close call. C is going to be double or triple capped by HLV, but it's going to be Cats getting the B cap at the start. With Cats in those Crown Wagons, they might have shots into Ice Force because Shell into Rush, unable to put Shell into the Crown Wagons. But by the HLV side, great start from Cats. That will give them the hit point pool advantage they need, and they also are looking to get A as well. Montanya is dropping into A, and he will get it without any contest at all. And that would give Cats the hit point pool advantage and the cap advantage, meaning HLV would either need to go for D to even things out, or they want to. Oh, Sarutsu getting punished by someone. Not good stuff there. But HLV, the triple Crown Wagons, they might be looking to shut down the Ice Force there. They might be in some sort of trouble. Ice Force don't have the reactive armor, so they can only rely on their raw armor they have to bounce shells. And simply, Cat is doing a tactical retreat, and they're going for A instead, with the T20 going for D, or maybe not. They're going to do flanking motions, and I think that would be a better call here. Oh, let's look at Hermes flanking the Ice Force. They need to call for the focus fire, with Rush being the focus for Cats here. He needs to get off this situation, but the T20s would be looking to hunt Rush down, and that will be the first tank down for HLV. Momosaka is going to be the next good round for I-Line. Oh dear, great job from the T20 here. Great flanking maneuver. On the other hand, HLV is trying to rush into them. Crown Wagons and the Ice Force with Aryubu now very, very low indeed. And he's going to be the first tank down for Cats. But Temptation is not long for this world as well. But HLV is losing more than 3k of hit point advantage. This is still Cats to win and enjoy solo kill. Is going to be next time down. Cost effective puts a good shell into enjoy solo kill. And now he's a one-shot. Hermes wants to finish him off, but he bounced his shell onto from Abyss, I believe. Mummy Milk is now dead. It's now going to be 4 versus 4, and there is still a chance for HLV, but the hit points, they have 2 one-shots almost. And now, cost effective looking for Koyi. He's going to put a good shot into Koyi. Is now down to 1 shot with Hermes. Now killed by From Abyss. It's now 3 versus 3. Koyi is now killed by cost effective, but all the HLV's tanks are looking for cost effective. He has to work with his mobility. But Sarutsu is getting the attention from I-Line. Cost effective is the focus for HLV. He has low hit points. He is very mobile. They want to take him out of the equation first. Looking at HLV trying to chase cost effective. They are really spinning HLV forces round and round with Sarutsu now dead, but Eyeline blocking cost effective, and with cost effective bouncing that shell. Oh, what is Eyeline doing right here? Bouncing onto from Abyss and blocking cost effective, and I think that is enough to raise a ticket to Wargaming to report Eyeline, I believe. And from Abyss is now a one-shot, is going to be killed by either Eyeline or cost effective, but I think it's going to be Mentalium killing off from Abyss, not allowing Eyeline to, you know, kill steal. And that is a really great start from Cats. I think the winning move comes from the double T22 flank right there, while HLV isn't quick enough to kill off the double Crown Vargans and the Ice Wall, despite none of them having any reactive armor at all. So I think the focus fire from HLV might be thrown into question here. The Cats, the double T22 medium, contrary to my belief, it worked very well for them. And cost effective, killing 4 tanks, doing more than 3k, so man of the match for me. And HLV, simply they just have to be more clinical and more effective on the other side, and that could have been very, very even. So far it's going to be 1-0 to Cats. Right, woo! HLV changed something up, but they are not changing the setup. Their tanks, they are taking the same tanks. I'm not going to announce the lineups here. But Cats are doing something different. They are still retaining their double T22 strat with cost effective and Hermes triple T125s by ARWV, Moment Milkers, and Mentalium double mouse. This time they're going to be taking by Allied and Temptation. So I think they are going to counter HLV strategy, and I believe they know the weakness of their setup last time is because of the double ice or double crab bargain. Without the reactive armor, that could have been a problem for them if HLV is quick enough to kill the tanks off, but it's not the case. But they want to play safe this time, and the mouses will be very, very important. But all eyes once again will be on the double T22 mediums by both cost effective and Hermes. So this time we will be seeing Cat's red team south spawn and HLV blue team on the north spawn, but HLV needs to do much better. But on the other hand, they also will be suffering for the lack of DPM, triple Ice Force and triple Crown Bargains, and that could be the reason why they are unable to go off the tanks double Ice with double Crown Bargains quickly enough while they make the push. So they need to isolate tanks this time. I think they need to do that here, because triple Crown Bargain's great burst damage when it's a collective, then it's going to be quite hard to tackle against. But Cats this time will not be getting a cat lead. They're going for D as well, but that will allow Rush to get A. But who will get the cat lead in this time at this point, at this moment in time? Double T20s on D, so that will give Cats the cat advantage this time. Oh, and Joy solo kill getting shot by Eyeline, and this is going to be Cats that needs to do the defensive movement this time, and HLV needs to figure out to break into Cat's defensive setup. They're having a lot of eyes on C. The double mouse will be on C, but they do not want to take unnecessary hits, so they need to conserve the hit points if HLV decides to rush. Temptation is not doing a good job here. Mouse still needs to stay as safely as possible, and look at the T125's how down there, unable to do any shots into Enjoy solo Q, but I think HLV will be rotating back to defend B as well. But it's all on HLV that needs to make a move. They are under a cap disadvantage, and once again I remind you, whichever team gets 1000 cap points at the start will win the game. So Cats at this moment, both teams have 2 caps. Cats leading the cap points by around 10, so absolutely HLV just need 1 kill to swing it back, and Cats are dropping hit points gradually. That is good stuff from HLV. They will have the bargaining power to do the push though, knowing that they have done done well in chipping away hit points. But look at that. Oh, Cat is doing a cap resets on B though. Not sure it's a good move, but look at that. HLV with a 7-1-0 is coming to shut down cost effective. I think they want to ditch their strategy in trying to cap B though. They have cap, they don't need another cap. They want to go and focus 7-0-1-0 and Sarutsu. And I think HLV have pretty much isolated the tanks here, so they are looking to kill off Sarutsu right here. Mentalium is not looking to join the double T20. I think that could be a bad call right there. Great focus on to Sarutsu by a double T20, but Mentalium, oh, HLV is doing counter push here. I think this could be the winning move for HLV this time. Mentalium now knowing that he needs to kill off Sarutsu and X7-1-0 at the start, but I think that could be a little bit too late here because now HLV has come in to support 7-0, and this would mean HLV will get the win this time. Mentalium gets eviscerated because the fact is trying to run away and he gets killed, and I think Rush and also Momosaku needs to be killed as soon as possible. Will they have enough DPM to do so? I'm not sure. Rush is doing a cap stop on C. That will give some time for the HLV to come in to kill off the remaining tanks of Cats. Good job on killing Rush. The Temptation is killed. Couldn't kill off Momosaku. And HLV has 963 cap points, and that would mean HLV will win the next one. 1-1 for both. Annihiline's looking to kill Momosaku. He's hiding, and it's going to be HLV winning this one. Great job to HLV this time. Did really well chipping away hit points of Cats at the start. That proves to be enough for HLV to win this one. But I think the major mistake from Cats this time is Mentalium not working with the double T22 mediums, because at that time it's 3 vs 2. And that forced into a T vs 2 situation, and that didn't give Cats the numerical advantage they need. They also are down in hit points, so if Mentalian helped, the double T22 mediums could have been a close game. But he was there to try to defend B, which was under the hands of HLB, so I have no idea why. So unfortunately, I think he kind of lost the game for Cats here. I'm sorry, Mentalian, but if T22, I think T22 mediums have a good idea. They almost killed Sarutsu, which could be very important right here because Sarutsu is a medium tank, the only medium tank for HLV, and the only tank which has quite a lot of DPM. So an inability to kill off Sarutsu is far too oops. And we are now on to Naval Frontier. It is. So Naval Frontier is a map that is quite interesting. Hello Noodles. Hello hello Gold. Or I don't know, Kim, is it? I think it's Kim in Korean, if I remember correctly. And hello ST, and hello One Top. Do we have one bottle somewhere else? I don't know. So Naval Frontier is weird because some teams would take a lot of medium tanks, some teams would take a lot of heavy tanks. Maybe if teams take a lot of medium tanks, you would be expecting them to go to C to get some map control and information. And if they take a lot of heavy tanks, you might be expecting them to go for A and B to do cap pressure strategy, where both A and B are quite close to one another. So would that be the case for Cats though? Because they're taking a Mouse, a VK, double T22, 110E5, a T22, a Kramwagen, and a Mouse, and a nice 4 with HLV double 50Bs, double Kramwagens, a nice 4, a Mouse, and a T22. And I think HLV, this is very strange because HLV, I think they would go for C, but they are going for A instead. With Cats, with a lot of super heavies though. German heavies, I would be expecting them to go for A instead. So that is kind of the reverse. A reverse card put up right there for both teams. So C is going to be captured by Mentalium. And A is going to be captured by HLV, but they have 2 tanks there compared to Cats with only 1. Great shell into Rush right there, but that's not enough to reset A, because he just only went there in a very short period of time. That's enough to get the Cat lead. A very, very tight Cat lead. From a Biscay shot a little bit in that position, a very, very backward position, so he does not want to drop any more hit points than HLV. Could actually play into the advantage of HRB, however, they have 4 Clippers though, so they just need to find an isolated Cat tank, and with all 4 of these Clippers, they can absolutely kill off a tank in no time. So Cats, I think they are aware of this, and they do not want to isolate anyone. I think Mummy Milkers or Spartan here, this is going to be a tank that is going to receive a lot of pressure. And I think HLV, if they realize this information, they can absolutely rush off Mummy Milkers and he will be no more. And both of these teams are very close, and Cat was nice splash onto Momosaku. So HLV just need 1 kill to swing it back to their favor. And Cat's Line in the looking at whoever is going to be from HLV. Cat doesn't need to go for B. It is HLV that needs to go for B, however. Oh, Ally being a little bit careless right here. Getting shot by Rush. Getting shot twice by Rush. Thrice. Oh, Ally is in... oh no. It's taking too many hits. Is doing the burden thing. This is really, really not good for Ally. He has to retreat. That gave HLV more than 1,000 hit points of advantage. They are losing more and more hit points, however. Oh dear. Cats might be in trouble. Samrutsu in that T22 is looking to shut down Mentalium. I think that could be very important. Mentalium is turning his tanks, trying to look for Samrutsu. I think Mentalium has overextended. I think this is really, really terrible stuff. Terrible situation for Cats to be in. They might have to rush the mouse in this situation. Allied now down to 1 shot. He's getting more and more. Oh no, he's gone now. He's taking too many hits while trying to defend. I think HLV. It's up to HLV to lose right now. They just need to coordinate a really good push, and the Cats, they need to find a tank to shut down. I think the only tank they can shut down is the Master. So HLV. They're looking for Mama Milkers. It's Kranwagen receiving a lot of hits right there. This is what we are talking about with the Clipper tanks. It's very quick when you're talking about Clipper tanks working together. They shut down ARWV very quickly. Ally is taken out very quickly. HLV with double the hit points as Cats. They just need to get more tanks out of this game. And Joyce Loki is now dead. Momosaki is now dead. It's now 5 versus 5. And now, from a big hit though, Temptation is now dead, Course Effective is now dead, it's now 2 versus 5, this is truly over for Cats right now. And HLV, getting B would be redundant at this point. That is not going to stop Cats from losing this game, I would say. Herbie is going to put a shell into Koyu. Koyu is trying rotating his tank, bounces onto Herbie's, killed off by 7-1-0, but that is going to give HLV that win. And that is a really, really good win from HLV. Mummy Milkers doing more than 4k in that VK. And I don't know, maybe they didn't coordinate well. I think this time Mentalium didn't do I think it was not a mistake from Mentalium here. I think he had an idea here, but it wasn't well communicated with the Cats team. And I think if Cats actually followed Mentalium right here, maybe they are able to impose some map control. But Samrutsu, that move from that T20 was very, very important indeed to surround and shut down Mentalium. But equally, you can also blame Mentalium for overextending because they have Cat lead actually, and they just need to defend. But if that beef though, that means it's going to spread cats too much, and but that's not the main mistake here. The main mistake I think is really Lion in a position that he took way too many hits, and rendering mouse actually useless because he didn't get rush. Actually, he just lost too many hit points in the position under crossfire from HLV. So well done to HLV for shutting that down, and HLV are through to the finals, and we will see which clan they're going to be facing, and we have 5 tanks to more than 2k for HLV here. Okay, so we will be seeing ENT versus E7. They have lost to E7 1-2, and it's going to be E7 versus HLV. So, ECG is now going to be ready. I will be interviewing them. Hello there. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi there. Wow. I mean, very happy to be interviewing you tonight. It's how are you?
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. You?
I'm doing great as well. That is Thor. Actually, what's your in-game name in this game? I mean, I know you're Thor in there on Discord, but what is your in-game name? Just asking.
You mean the ID of my Wargaming account?
Yes.
Yeah, it's that start with MY.
What? Sorry, I can't. I didn't.
It starts with MY by my Ayanami-chan.
My Ayanami-chan. Oh.
Yeah, but you can just call me. Yeah, I know. But my teammates, they just call me the professor. I know there is already a professor from GV. Yeah.
Oh, so you're professor from JV?
No. I'm just another professor.
Oh, you're just another professor. I see. That's it. Just
yeah.
So those of you who don't know,
it's just coincidence. It's just coincidence that we have
I know.
nickname.
I see. So for those of you who don't know how to pronounce that name, I think you just nailed that name perfectly. I believe I got
actually,
it right,
I'm thinking about changing my name. Yeah.
Yes. No worries. Don't worry about that. But I mean, ECG. I think not a lot of people have been expecting you guys to be in the top 8 so far, but so far you have been in the top 8 actually. So I mean, tonight it's not probably the best result that you would want to be getting, but how do you rate your clan's performance so far this season?
For me personally, I think so far so good because at the very beginning of the season, we just have a expectation of finishing the top 8, and
Right.
actually we are happy about the result. We think we can also do better. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they are not in the mood, you know.
I know.
That may cause some downside during the battle. But, yeah, we are good with the results so far.
Yeah, that's good to see. But talking about looking forward, and I think the professionals tournament is going to be held next week, provided that ID will not be overtaking you on the final day. What will be your expectations in the professionals tournament?
Well, we will try our best to finishing in the top 6, I guess.
I see. So hopefully hopefully you guys will finish in the top 6 in the end.
Yeah, because we've already had some training battles with clans like Ren and HLV, and we find out that we still have some issues. And yeah, we will do our best. We can say just finishing in the top 6. Yeah.
That's good. That's good to hear. I wish you all the best, though. Hopefully, you
Okay,
guys
thank you
will
very
have you guys will have a good seeding on the final day, and hopefully you guys can also, even if you don't have good seeding, hopefully you guys can prove us wrong once again with beating some of the teams above you on the leaderboard. So, thank you for the thanks for the interview, and hope you guys have a good night.
Thank you. We will pass back.
Don't worry, though. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Okay,
Bye.
have a good night. Bye.
Right, so that was my Ayanami-chan. I nailed it. The captain of ECG's team in the chat there. So they are pretty happy about the result and also their performance so far, and they are now in the top 8. Although it's going to go down to the final day, they can still overtake ECG. That being said, though, they are not far away, only around 1,600 cups. So if we kind of predict that there are around 2,000 cups, 2,000 and including the group stage, that would amount to 3,200, around 3,200 cups, and that means they could well overtake Cats tonight, and ID could also overtake Cats. Cats will want to finish 3rd tonight. That would probably mean that they will be in the top 8. But we cannot say for sure. But ECG are in trouble if they do not qualify to the next day. Basically, they have to pray that ID or the will not do very well in the final day. On the final day. So this is still really close to call. We don't know for sure. We still only have like 6 minutes until the next game, and 1 more minute until the room is up. So while you wait, I will just change my overlay as always before I forget, and just create a big mess for myself. And definitely, Cats would like to win against ENT in the 3rd place to seal the deal there. Absolutely. And but then they have a big advantage actually in the top 8, so I would expect them to actually be able to cruise through to the professionals tournament without any trouble at all, but they do not want to be under some huge issues, but we'll see. On the other hand, for the top 16 though, we still have the teams below top 16 that if they go advance to the final day of the season, particularly I think caution will be on Cam 1 right here. They were very good in winter season, not that good in my opinion in the spring season. But if they actually qualify to the next day at the not BB or DCGTB, DCGTB and BB will probably need to fight out in the last chance tournament. I think, more being said, that it will take place when both teams have the same number of cups. I don't think they will look at the the clan rating with something like the win rate there. So definitely, DCGTB and BB would like to qualify to the final day, and if not, then they are in trouble. Other than that, I would say very for sure that the ECG, NQE7, King, PGMT, and idea are very safe in the challenges tournament if they are to play. So we are now on Hellas once again, as I said, very open map, but very strangely a lot of heavy tanks. So we are seeing E7 going with double Crown Wagons on the IS4, double T125 Nuggies in the VK, and pink puffins potentially in the T22. HLV would like to get the third free rescue tournament. Actually, HLV is looking really strong this season, so I expect them to challenge the first place once again. They're going with triple IS4s by Enjoy Solo Kill, Rush and Blood and Wine. Same with 710 in the Crown Wagon, Koyu in the T125 and Sarutsu in the T22. Ball Sorter is spectating, so XL will be having another player playing in the final game. They are waiting for that player to show up. I think Ball Sorter is not in that strategy, so he's going to spectate, so this is what is happening. At the same time, Alex is on the subs bench, with Fujit streaming this match as well. Hello, how are you doing? Hello, Harshkiller. Hello, Mangolingo. Chunks the Wilchill saying bro. And he is acting a little bit like Yakuza, so please tone your toxicity down. I'm not here for Arsenium. Well then. You're seeing E7 taking only 1 million tank and quite some held tanks and a VK 90.01p as well, so I would be expecting them to go mostly to A and B with HLV with double IS4s, double crown, triple IS4s, double crown, and IS and T125 and T22. I would expect them to do the same thing as E7, so I think a lot of action will be happening around A and B with the T22s to spot over C. I don't know, because IS4 would not work well on C because of the accuracy and lack of gun depression. And the terrain might be helpful in hiding their hull, but in terms of hull, but really it's quite demanding in terms of depression, so they really want to use T125s instead in that situation, but you would never know. I got it completely wrong for, let's say, the Hellas match of Cats versus ECG, so it could happen again. The HLV will be on the red team, E7 on the other team. Whoops. Let me just double check about this. Yeah, I just need to wait for a moment. I forgot to change the bottom third. So I'll be back really soon. So HLV on the south side and also E7 on the north side. Let's head up high and see. E7 definitely will be going for C. Actually, I should have known better. The hold down tanks would probably legislate a strategy over to the C side, and actually HLV are doing something similar. They're going to C, and A and B will be both captured by Blood and Wine and Pink Puffins. It's going to be actually Pink Puffins capturing slightly more quickly than Blood and Wine. Oh, good shot from Enjoy Suluki right there. Also Pink Puffins, but that is not the end of the world yet, because just only one shot and Hippos is still neck and neck. Nuggies and Fries taking a hit in that VK 9.01p. Do I have any predictions for challengers? No. I'll be expecting Ali to win the entire thing. I think they are just too strong for challengers in my opinion. Oh, that backwards getting tracked, unable to rush, and I think he might do 0 damage at this rate. And he's looking for Koyu. Good shot right there. It's not going to do 0 damage, so great job there. And HLV is leading in terms of hit points, and E7, I think, is that push going to backfire tremendously. Koyu dropping the reactive armor, I think that is going to buy a lot of time for HLV to react to. And they are now leading by more than 3k, and that is very important indeed. That back was now dead, and Koyu is still alive. That reactive armor really bought so much time for HLV to rotate. Now it's really HLV's game to lose. Koyu is now down to 1-shot. Magdal's dropping the reactive armor, and he's going to kill off Koyu. Great shot right there. Nuggies and Fries is now dead. Pink Puff is running around, but it's 1 versus 2 at this point, so what can you expect from this situation? Yurital is now one shot pretty much. No, 2-shot. Rush is now dead. Ruler is now dead, and it's going to be HLV with a solid victory right there. Pink Puff is now dead, and Maddox is the last man standing. Great job to HLV. Prompt response to E7's push, and HLV also also defended well. They have guns there to stop E7 from rushing. I think E7 just simply they have the cap lead, so absolutely they don't have to make that push. And they didn't get enough information, I think. They thought that the tanks of HLV are isolated, but it's a T125 Koyu. Absolutely, although he did the second least damage for HLV, the time he bought was so important for HLV to rotate and shut the E7 push down very ruthlessly. So E7 with only Maddox doing more than 2k, not good enough for E7. They could have done a lot better, a lot more better at reading the situation there. I think it was just a very premature rush there, and it's going to be 1-0 so far for HLV. This was a very quick game, I must say. Gosh. Oh my gosh, I just confused the pronunciation with game and say. I just swapped the vowels and the consonants. It's just like game and say becomes same and gay, which is no, my mouth hasn't been very intelligent tonight, so we're seeing E7 with double T125s by Nat Backwards and Maddox, and also Yuri, so it's triple T125, the triple crown by Ruler Chromatrox and Alex, Nuggies and Fries and the Mouse. I will not be covering challenges though, I will be covering the professionals. HLV will be going with triple Ice Force, Androsolocule Blood and Rush, with Silver Window and from my best, double Crown Bargains and Sarutsu in the T20 once again. So Sarutsu Senpai, you know, it's going to do really well in that T22, I assume, so, you know, here we go. Will GV make it to the top 4? Probably. I think top 4 is quite competitive this season for a Asia server. Hello Peng Zhang, how you doing? Oh, you're Zhang Pen from ECG, so hello there. HLV this time, red team north spawn going mostly to C. I think E7 blue team south spawn going mostly to A. Oof. Oh, Maddox is spotted. Will he get shot though? No, Blood and Wine is not in position. But look at Nuggies and Fries that mouse charging his way to reset Blood and Wine. I would say. But he's going to be captured, and Nuggies just, you know, that big bully. Here, the Blood and Wine is going to retreat. He's not going to be able to cope with the bullishness of Nuggies and Fries. And they're going to get C instead. With both Rush and Sarutsu going to get at base, D7 this time is going to approach this one a lot more defensively. They have a very huge hit point advantage with more than 2k at the moment. So around 2K, I am bad at maths. So E7, they just do not want Blood and Wine to go into B, and he got shot at a little bit. So good job to Nuggies and Fries splitting up. So he's going to get B once again. Oh, Nuggies and Fries, will he go up? I'm not sure if HLV is there. I think they're hunkering down to shut down Nuggies and Fries, trying to reset Blood and Wine. But good shot right there. I think this facade is just enough to get Nuggies and Fries not getting under crossfire by HLV's forces to try once again, but Nuggies and Fries, his DPM simply too low to get a shot into Blood and Wine, but at the expense of Blood and Wine, only 714 hit points at this point for him. So E7 still has a substantial hit point pool to work with, but HLV would definitely know which side to defend, because Blood and Wine would draw in a lot of attention for E7. It's now down to one shot. Nuggies and Fries just need to put that shell to kill off Blood and Wine, but absolutely HLV knows Nuggies and Fries going to do that, but he's now dead. 6-7 right now, but at the expense of Nuggies and Fries down to less than 1,000 hit points. Oh, Sarutsu, is that a good idea right here? Uh-oh, I think he just made a mistake right here. He's now getting rushed, getting dealt with by 2 Kramwagens. This is the situation that you do not want to be in, no matter how good you are. And he's now taken out by Alex. It's now 5-7 for HLV. HLV is in loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of trouble. Yuri didn't make me swear. I think I didn't swear right there. But with Nuggies and Fries now dead, this is still close to call. HLV still with 2 caps, and I'm not sure, do they have tanks to go over to shut down to get C though? I don't think so, but Rush is getting rushed by E7. He's dropping down. Oh, but will he get stuck? No. He has enough momentum to get his tank back in normal form. But now A is going to be captured by 7-1. No. HLV can still win this one by caps here, but A7 with a substantial hit point pool advantage. Napak was trying to get B. They have to kill off Koryu quickly enough, but I think ignoring C might lose them the game, and it's going to be HLV winning this one. Killing off Ruler is important, and I think E7 they lost. They didn't have a medium tank. That is very important, I would say. That means they are unable to get C. That means Sarutsu 0 damage. Not good indeed. So HLV, despite losing 2 tanks, I think E7 simply didn't really pay attention to the caps of A and B, and they are unable to get C because of their mobility. You're seeing right here, all of these tanks are heavy tanks, and they cannot. They have to go for a really long way to get C, and that would mean that will be even in terms of hit points. And this is a really good match from well, I wouldn't say it's a good match for HLV, but HLV definitely played their cards well, and they know E7 doesn't have the hit point pool, the mobility. So capturing C is very important play from HLV, and that was enough to hand E7 hand HLV the third previous skill tournament there. I think that will shoot their way up to the first position, I would say. And what is going to be the result for ENT versus Cats? It's going to be ENT 2-1 to Cats, meaning Cats would not be in the top 8 for tonight, but the top 6, all of them would be in the top 8. So Cats very close indeed, but I think they are still in the healthy position to be securing the top 8. But it will go down to the final day, go down to the final day to know whether Cats will be the top 8 at the end. They can still get overtaken if they don't qualify to the next day. but we'll see. Actually, if it's going to be the case in the end. So 4 teams still left to go in terms of securing a top 8 position. Cats, ECG, ID, and if either of Cats or ECG or both don't qualify, let's actually simulate this this situation. Assuming Cats and ECG don't qualify to the final day, and assuming a perfect, assuming some an expected run from ID and what will we expect? So assuming like ID will finish second and also in the group stage, and also in the third. So let's just assume that in this situation that they are through to the next day. What does it mean? In this situation, in this scenario, okay, ID will overtake ECG. I'm just going to, you know, grant enough. Okay, just going to grant some cups for E7 and GV. Just not confuse you all. Okay, so that means ID will overtake ECG, but not quite against Cats. But might not be able to overtake ECG though. So I think just have to do exceptionally well on the final day. That includes the quarterfinals cups as well the next day. So ID, I think they just need to. If they finish only third, though, what will happen? If they only finish third, though, they will not overtake ECG in the group stage. I mean, and if they actually get into the semi-finals at least, they will overtake ECG. Yes, they will overtake ECG. So either way, they would want to advance to the semi-finals of the final of the second day and get third place in the group stage, provided ECG got knocked up, and ID will be in the top 8. And either way, I don't think Cats will be out of top 8. So for now, I would say ECG, they need to perform well on the final day. 90, they also need to perform well on the final day as well. Yep, so RN. Yeah. So here is the final table. Now I think that T22, I think it was a misplay from Sarutsu. I don't think it was a good. I don't think it was meant to lure the crown set. I think more of the important point is that Cats didn't take any. It's that E7 didn't take any medium tanks, and the HMV got C, and they have to go a long way, and they didn't even bought the seat in the end. So I think that was the winning move from HLV, that they know that E7 doesn't have any tanks, any medium tanks to get C. I think that was a misplay. That was a misplay. I don't think that was a part of the strategy. Great. So finally we have Cats with Spartan or Mummy Milkers in the chat with us. Hello, Mummy Milkers. How are you?
Hello there.
Right, so great job tonight. After beating ECG, and you're very close in securing a spot in the professionals tournament. So how do you rate about your performance so far this season?
We've had ups and downs. The first two, I think we set ourselves up really well. The first two, we made we had won both our group stages, but then we obviously fell quite short in the final stages. But we had enough points or cups that, because of our shortcomings in the third and fourth prove your skill, we had enough points there to sort of a buffer zone. We sort of rectified that. Well, tonight with making the group final stage, beating ECG.
Okay.
So it's been up and down.
No, I mean we can see. We can see that.
Yeah.
It's I mean, obviously beating ECG is very important because at the same time ECG is also looking to secure the spot in the top 8, and that would really leave ECG to really fight their way on the final day. And as for you guys, will your expectations change?
I think we went
for the season.
Well, we went in confident against ECG. We do like Hellas. It's a map with a lot of it's a very interesting map in the way you push, because you can't just really push unless you have multiple ways to push to single out a tank. And I think we played really quite well against ECG.
Yeah.
We played how we wanted. People listened and stuff. We didn't have any issues, but ECG, they've played really well to claw back to making top 8, getting it ahead of ID, but then ID have had they've been really unlucky.
Yeah, I think they faced Feast twice in the quarterfinals, but they also lost to ECG 1-2 on the first day. So
yeah, they did.
Yeah, so I mean, equally, ID. We thought of ID as one of the top 4 teams, so having them not in the top 8 is quite a shock this season. But then I would say all the 8 clans here this season, I think they fairly deserve their placing.
Yeah, having ID in challenges is just a massive shark in a pond. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, but then I think it's also not the most unfair per se, or maybe I would say not the most unfair per se, because I think they still have a lot to prove this season so far.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and I think challenges will be a very important platform for them to show that they are still a very competent team. If they are,
I think they definitely are, but they just having Feast in the quarterfinals twice. That's so harsh on them.
Yeah,
because they're definitely top 8 material, but they just haven't been given the opportunity to show that they are.
That is true though. But I mean, the H7, more than 50% of the teams participating are very competitive. So you at least have to play really well in the quarterfinals, at least, in order to be a top 8 improvement. So hopefully, ID is going to prove us wrong in the final season, but they have to rely on ECG in tripping up.
Yeah, they need ECG to trip up, and then ID have to have a colossal 6th prove your skill They need to win group stage. They need to win final
Well, they
stage,
don't need
and then
to.
they can.
They just have to, as I shown on stream, they just need to achieve either like second or third in the group stage, and respectively the quarterfinals or the semifinals in the final stage. So it's basically like ID usual performance that they should be able to overtake ECG. But they have to at least they have to go through to the quarterfinals in the group stage at the very least. So I would say they could very well face Feast once again, and they have to beat them.
Oh, that would be so harsh if for a third time in a row if they have to go through Feast.
I think it's possible. It's like considering the fact that the top teams on the Asia in the previous skill tournaments, the seeding didn't really change a lot, so I could very well see that happen again.
Well, it would be interesting to see ID versus ECG in a quarterfinal.
Oh, that would be interesting. That would be
one of the biggest games of the previous skill season so far.
I hope Fidget is going to be picked for that, but then I know that Pokemon would probably pick the best teams in the server. So I'm not very adamant that will happen, but I hope that will happen.
It'll be a good watch.
It will be very good watch, and I think that is what the viewers would like to see.
Yeah.
Great. So I really wish your team all the best. Hopefully we'll see you in the professionals tournament. I'm very sure
it would be nice.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, and
no worries.
And good luck to your team for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks for that.
No worries. Bye for now then. Great, so we had Mommy Milkers or Spartan and Cats, and kind of talk a little bit about what's going on with ECG and ID. I think they have some up and downs in the season so far, but at least they are relatively safe in the top 8, so I expect them to go through by the final previous skill tournament during the group stages. So all eyes will be on ECG and ID, potentially if they qualifies to the next day, but they will also have a very huge task to do. Not just they have to actually perform really well. If they go to the finals, maybe they will overtake ECG. Let's actually simulate that. If they actually get second place and get into the next day, what will happen? So where is ECG? So they still will not overtake. ECG in this situation. Cats are not eliminated, however, so don't worry about that. But yes. Would need to do much better. They need to at least qualify to the finals of the group stage and also get into the semi-finals of the final stage. So I think RD doesn't have to do that much, but Dur has to do really, really well. And other than the otherwise, Dur are out. But it's going to be either ECG or RD in the top 8. I think this is going to be very, very tough. Very interesting to watch. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stream because of exams. So if I had time, then I would do that. But I don't have any time, so I can't. Right. So other than that, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you will be. You have good night and good evening. And on the eServe, I'll be following Raid's journey in the come back to the top 8. First up, they are against Rackham, and they will potentially face Endgame, and this is going to be the test. They want to. That's going to be a huge test for them. If they can beat Endgame, I don't know. if they put themselves to and win the fifth previous skill tournament, I believe they can still get top 8 in the end. So we don't know. It's going to be really tense indeed. And here we go, top 8 for the H7 HLV Feast RN E7 GB Cats and DCG. We are just left with Cats and DCG, provided that all the top 8 teams in here have registered a team at the very least in the next previous skill tournament. Otherwise, they have to pray that ID or don't do very well. So other than that, thank you all for watching and see you all very soon. Bye for now.